Welcome to Conversations Unbound, where curiosity meets conversations. Join us on a journey of exploration as we delve into diverse topics and engage in thought provoking discussions. Whether you are a seasoned enthusiast or a newcomer to the world of podcasts, prepare to embark on a captivating adventure of ideas and insights. I'm your host, Shamantak Das, and together let's unravel the threads of curiosity that weave through the fabric of our world. So, today we are going to be talking about the topic navigating through peer pressure in school life. As we are all getting into college, we have to discuss something about the peer pressure that we face during our school life because that has shaped us into something which we are going to be turning out to be in coming days in college. So, thankfully, I'm not alone in this topic today. I have my friend Uday Grover here with me.
Guys,
And so, yeah, Uday, tell me, how was your day today?
well, I'll say winter is coming to the horizon soon. It's quite cold today.
Yeah, it
Uh,
definitely is.
yeah,
You can look at my jacket.
you can also get the sweater that I'm wearing right now. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's been cold lately. It's cool. So, yeah, how was your Diwali vacation?
Well, it's always good to actually go back to our homes and meet our loved ones. So I did that. I met
Mm.
my loved ones. I met my mom, dad, also my dog Max. So I think all in all, it was pretty nice. Vacation. I'd say first time our college gave a week holiday, so that was
Mhm.
nice.
My Diwali vacation was pretty hectic actually, and I had to travel a lot. And my experience with the train, I would like to not share that
I
here
guess
because,
our us college students actually has a lot. We have like a lot of hectic uh, travel to go
yeah,
back to our
yeah,
hometowns.
yeah, it's all about saving the money. I'm talking about you, parents.
Yes,
So let's not drift very far away from the main topic that we have gathered here for,
right,
which
of
is
course.
peer pressure. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on peer pressure?
I guess peer pressure is something that we have all faced in our life and is a major part that plays in forming a person's personality, especially a student.
Yeah,
If we talk about, we all are in college right now, and school was a major part of our lives,
yeah,
and I think that has affected us how we actually are in the college, how we actually communicate, how we actually perceive things.
yeah,
I think it's like a major role that I think we should and we all should actually talk about.
peer pressure. And the way actually I think about peer pressure is that
Mhm.
uh, it's kind of an invisible force that forces you to do things that you never knew you wanted to do or you weren't sure about doing it yourself. It's that like there are groups who are doing something and then they are like let's say you haven't heard about the term cool kids. So they're like
Yes, of
the
course.
cool kids in school, and they have like this whole group thing.
Mm.
They're like the elite children in the class or in the institution or whatever, and they do the cool stuff. How do you call it cool? Why do we call it cool? Because it's something that is followed by a majority or a group of people, so we think that it's like it's something definitely something interesting,
Mm.
something new or something interesting, some kind of thing that attracts you. It's a force, and it makes you want to do the same thing to be accepted by that group.
It's just, I think, every single thing in our school is also is to basically fit in the society
Exactly.
and
It's
just,
that human
yeah.
nature to adapt and like socialize with people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think. Oh, well, can you tell me about your life, your school life, and what did you face in your school life?
I guess collectively in all of our lives,
Yeah,
COVID-19 lockdown was a major part that played. Like 3 years was like gone. There was no
yeah,
school life.
yeah.
So I think
Actually, sorry if I'm
that's
interrupting you, but I was in class 10th
hmm.
before COVID, and then suddenly I'm in college.
Yeah, it's like a major
Yeah,
blip of time that we remember, but we actually can't think, oh my God, this much time has been gone.
yeah,
Though I think COVID-19 also shaped a lot of our personalities. But if you talk about school life, uh, of course, as you mentioned, cool kids,
yeah.
there's always something in our minds that actually pushes us to be like, what is it in them that we don't have, so we are not with them.
Exactly.
But I guess we just accept who we are and try to be like them,
Mhm.
try to be like not us. just try to be like, even if we are actually sad and not wanting to show that because people will judge us.
Yeah.
And I guess as we are progressing in our generations, it's becoming more and more frequent where the small kids are having the mind to actually think what other people think of them.
Mm.
Because I think, frankly, in our generation, Gen Zs, if I would clarify, I believe till seventh or eighth, I think everyone was, or sixth, everyone was careless.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, jo bhi ho raha
We
hai.
used to play Beyblade.
Exactly. But I guess if you talk about the recent generation, which is I think called Alpha,
Yeah.
even in sixth grade or fifth grade, you'll see
Yeah.
people have phones, people are scared what people think of them.
Mhm.
So I guess it's just going downhill from here. Kids will soon enough have peer pressure from
The
maybe
next generation onwards.
even the generation that is right now
Yeah.
Alpha. It's going really progressively down.
Mm-hmm. And like, let's talk about your personal life. And did you face any trouble, like problems to fit into society or to fit into your friend circles, groups because of peer pressure?
I think it's also not that key every single person in a school thinks the same. Even if they're like five people,
Mm.
they're not the majority, but they have influenced on other kids so much that they think they are right and every other kid is wrong. They're doing every single thing wrong. So yes, I have also faced a lot of peer pressure indirectly by my school friends, colony friends, even some teachers. It's not like the only people that actually gives us peer pressure is the people among us. It's also maybe the peers that we listen to. In my school, yeah, the cool kids, as you mentioned, or even the nerds, everyone had their own groups and how they actually treated them or how they thought
Mm.
about them.
Mm.
Having their own hobbies, thoughts, if they did not align with you, you can't be that.
Yeah.
So maybe I had to not do much because, frankly speaking, I didn't have much friends throughout school life. No groups, no nothing. I had two friends, in which also in 12th grade I just had one of
Mm.
them. The other one completely disconnected from them.
Oh.
Though still to even be the part in the conversation, whatever they're talking about, you should, or I think under say there's like a force that okay, they're all doing this hobby, so I should also do. So we go back to our parents, be like, "Hey, oh, I wanna learn skating or learn tennis because every single person is playing there. So you also want to be like, oh, I also play tennis,
Mm.
so I can be in their group. Both ha dimang hai, but I didn't do it. So I think that yeah, not much, but yes, it was quite a significant part in my life.
Yeah, even for me, like when I was in eighth grade, usually already played games on PCs and
Hmm.
like consoles. I used to play PUBG PC.
Hmm.
Everyone knows PUBG now
Hmm.
because PUBG, but the PUBG that people know about right now, it's not the PUBG PC version, it's the PUBG mobile. If you know, it was an era
Yeah.
like 2018, 19, actually 17, 18. PUBG mobile was released and everyone was playing PUBG
I
mobile.
got ham.
And like my entire friend circle, they never knew about games.
Yeah.
And suddenly they had PUBG Mobile.
That's the thing, I think. Let's suppose that, as you're saying, you played games when
Yeah,
you were in eighth grade,
yeah,
right? People did not much.
yeah,
So even if you talked about games, you're like, oh, tu bacha hai, kya tu games
yeah,
khelta hai.
exactly.
But as soon as PUBG came, it's PUBG
Yeah,
Mobile,
yeah.
every single person, even
Mm.
in their 20s or 30s, started playing PUBG
Yeah,
without giving a shit. Oh, that's games.
yeah,
So I think it's actually the vast majority of the people when they come or the cool kids
yeah,
like oh हम भी खेलते हैं then it's like oh ये normal है करना
yeah.
ठीक है normal है बात करना तो कर सकते हैं
And also, there's this term called backbenchers. You know, like when we were small,
Hmm.
we used to glorify the kids who used to sit in the front and listen
Yeah.
to teachers and get good marks.
Hmm.
They were like Sharma ji ka beta types
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And now they are all glorifying these backbenchers because they are supposed to be the cool
Cool
kids.
kids.
So what do? They destroy their lives. They don't study. They indulge in useless activities. Yet they're the cool kids. And the
There's
peer
no
pressure.
problem in being a backbencher until and
Yeah,
unless you're actually studying and get
yeah,
good
yeah.
marks.
But okay, Uday, that's fine. But we can have the entire podcast to ourselves and we can talk more about ourselves and our personal life. But I have actually invited a few more guests to diversify this topic and spread some more light into this peer pressure. So let me invite my two close friends and also classmates, Sumra Fatima and Sarthak Divate. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, so Sumra and Sarthak. Sarthak, how was your day?
It was nice, but I would say it was hectic because I had classes today, and as usual at afternoon I had mess food,
Yeah.
and like evening is good.
Did you have good food?
Yeah, yes, but like not like home food, but it
Yeah.
was
I mean,
nice.
we all miss
We all can
Yes,
agree that home food is super.
but it was nice.
So you had classes today?
Yes, from like morning 9 to 12, and after that like afternoon classes also were there. So it was pretty hectic.
So
I had a quite hectic day because of the classes and also because I was hungry.
uh, and how do you feel about today? But in general, like, how do you feel about college?
I have a love and hate relationship with college. I like it, but I hate it.
I mean, we all have those kind of, like some things that we don't like about college and institutions, but I pretty much love it. Yeah, we all have diverse experience.
God, I miss my home.
Okay, so let's not divert from the topic again, and let's get back to peer pressure. So, what do you guys think about peer pressure?
So like I would say about the peer pressure is like everybody's point of view is different, but what I think is peer pressure might be like friend circle. It depends on friend circle.
Yeah,
Like,
colleagues, friends.
yes. It's upon us to choose our friends, like with what people we should stay.
Hmm.
So, like, obviously, during the age of like 6 to 7 standard, 8 standard, like many students get into bad habits and all
Yeah,
due to friends,
yeah,
because some of them are like involved because might be their seniors told them or something like that.
yeah.
So I think
Parents they especially emphasize on the fact that don't get into bad friends.
yes. But so like I would say some students don't listen to their parents. Like some children don't listen,
Yeah.
so they fall in like bad habits or something like that. But I would actually say it is related to like friends, most probably like friends. So we should choose our friend circle wisely. Like it depends. It's depend on us.
So as per you, it classifies as friends is the main.
Yes. Like the friend circle
Okay.
in school, which we have, like we make our friends and all.
Yes, makes sense.
Yes.
I think we are more influenced by our parents
Parents. Yeah, that's interesting.
What makes you say that?
because I think we can say no to our friends. Ki, I don't want to do this, or I just don't feel comfortable. But we don't feel comfortable saying no to our parents.
That's a
But
good
is
point.
that really peer pressure? It's interesting.
I mean, it is even though our parents don't put pressure on us, we are ultimately indirectly pressured.
Hmm.
Ki,
True.
what will they say? What will they think?
Yeah,
I think what Sumra said. It's kind of true because blood relations,
yeah.
especially close blood relations, you actually can't get out of the situation like you can with your friends or
They
your
have
friends.
responsibility.
Yes.
So, what would you exactly talk about when it comes to pressure that you cannot get out of? How do you handle that stuff? Like, do you what would you like to talk about your personal experience about it?
I mean, I didn't really have that kind of experience. I have always done what I wanted.
Hmm.
Have you ever felt any like peer pressure like you could have you like you said you have not faced it, right? But probably have avoided at some
Yeah,
point in your life. Like could you share that experience like how you avoided it?
probably in studies.
Hmm.
Indirect peer pressure, I would say.
So your parents never really pressurized?
Yeah, they never really pressurized me, but I always felt pressured because of my friends. They were very good in studies.
Mhm.
Having them around made me feel very inferior because I wanted to study and compete with them.
Hmm.
I was not a bad student, but I just wanted to be with them, be at that same pace.
Hmm.
So I think that.
I think indirect peer pressure is also like a major part
Yeah.
which actually comes.
Yeah, actually, when you talk about pressure that comes from parents and it indirectly shapes into peer pressure. I remember when it wasn't really a thing that we used to think about it back then, but I do remember it vividly when I was in class, like grade first to third. I used to be the topper in class. And like I used to get 98, 99%. And that kind of age is not somewhere you should have peer pressure. But if I like recall all the memories that I have, friends around me did have peer pressure because of me. Because like my parents had high expectations, and they always wanted me to push to the very limit and wanted me to get the best marks and like results. And they always they always compared me to this shadow person, like he's better than you, that person is better than you, but no one was actually better than me at that point of time. I was literally the person who scored the highest in the class, and yet my parents would be like, especially my mom, she would be uh, what would this person get better marks than you? What would that person get better marks? So basically, when I was, like getting in the top of my class, every other student they used to their parents got involved and they're like, oh damn, this kid is getting 19%, 99%. They push their kids, and the kids in my class they started hating me, kind of, low key. They started hating me because I was the reason why their parents were pushing them to get the marks. We used to have competitions in class to write fast. Imagine. Yeah, true. Useless. We used to have competitions to write fast. Who's gonna write first? Who's gonna complete the entire?
Full code done, man.
Yeah, done, man. Like we used to have competition for attendance. Who's gonna say yes, ma'am first? Like what? Like we had small things that we didn't even think about, but we
Also, one more thing that I would like to add on that.
yeah,
Let's suppose a teacher is taking attendance, and the first person says, "Ma'am," second person is present, ma'am.
yeah,
Now you'll see the whole flow going as present, ma'am.
yeah,
No one in the middle will be like, "Ma'am,"
yeah.
just stand out. They want to fit in. That's why they continue with the present, ma'am. Also, the parents part. Every parent, or as I'll say, it's like a diverse thing. Even parents that are like in the foreign countries would force their kids be like, if you'll get these marks, I'll get you this, like a materialistic thing. That's also technically peer pressure. You're making your kid go for something for like a reward for something to do in school.
It forces them to change
Yes.
what they naturally are.
Yes.
That's right, actually.
So I would like to add on to your point.
Yeah.
As you said, like you were a topper in your school time, and your parents were thinking like you should score more.
Mm.
But at that point, you were the topper. You were scoring the most marks. Uh, if I would say about mine life, about my school life, so I was weak in studies. So like I was not that weak in 45%, 50%. I was between 60 to say 70%. But like my parents never pressurized me ki you should study, you should score marks or like that. They never compared with any student ki like look at him, he's scoring 90%, you should also score and all. But I would say peer pressure, like looking at our friends, ki they are scoring good, they are doing well in the studies. We think ki we are doing nothing. We are just coming to school for just we are sitting, we are just studying and going home. It's just I just think like it's getting a waste of time. But I would say ki like peer pressure, like friends. So that
That's why we talked about indirect peer pressure.
huh,
Even your friends being at someone and the FOMO of not being there with them is
yes, yes,
technically also
yes.
peer pressure.
Like we feel ki like we are not like them.
Hmm.
Like they are like
They're different and you're
yes, yes,
abnormal.
yes. Yes, exactly.
Marks doesn't really define कि you're coming going somewhere और तुम कुछ कर रहे हो कि नहीं कर रहे हो. I
Huh.
think knowledge is more important.
Yeah, but at this point, let's suppose ki there's a classroom and marks पढ़े जा रहे हैं लोगों के, and everybody is scoring 70s out of hundreds, and suddenly somebody says, "Oh, blah blah, you have scored 30." Everybody look down on you. Oh my God, there's two doesn't study. And then you'll feel like, okay, everybody has gotten 70. Even let's suppose 50 you got.
Hmm.
And that's like not really bad marks, but bad marks. But 50 or 60, even close 60 marks. But every single person has gotten 70. Be like, क्या यार 70 हो जाते. At least सबके साथ तो होता. कोई बेफालतू में judge तो नहीं करता मेरे को. That is also technically peer pressure. So our whole school lives have been like revolving around this.
I think judgment is the worst part of our society.
Yes.
It is.
It is true. But do you really think peer pressure is important in our life?
Yes, it is important as well because as you said, your friends started hating you
Yeah.
and all. I had that kind of experience, but also I was a very good student till 10th.
Yeah.
I had very good marks, but in 11th I would say I didn't really study.
Would you say that the life experiences?
Yeah, no. It was because I became careless. I was like, I don't care about anyone. And I was like, I'll do whatever I think.
Mhm.
But that didn't really affect my studies.
There's also something called good peer pressure and bad peer pressure. Sarthak, what did you face?
So like it was very similar. Like every year, I used to
Like,
fail
what
in.
would you signify your peer pressure as a good peer pressure or bad peer pressure?
I would like at some points, I would like say ki it was good
Hmm.
for me,
Hmm.
but at some point it was like
It's
very
bad.
depressing and
Yeah.
like you feel very sad.
Hmm.
Like people think like what they think about you, and sometimes they show too. Like in friends, like we are talking normally, and someone say like spots on you.
Hmm.
He just says ki, like you just scored less marks, so you just don't talk and all. So like that feels a bit sad and all.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, but like it is important. Like it helps a lot to change, to make a
That's
change in
true.
yourself.
That's
You
true.
get to know yourself more better, ki like what people would think and what you should do.
So I think you saying that, I think that depends on person to person. Maybe
Ah,
you think
yes,
that's
yes,
good,
yes,
and maybe Samantak or Sumra or myself, I think that's
yes,
wrong.
yes.
I think it's diverse.
Huh.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I was saying that I would like to uh, talk about the thing that you said that it's good and we get to know ourselves. But I personally believe that peer pressure changes the entire personality that we naturally had in the first place.
Yeah.
So if you're someone like me, for example, I realized it very late into my life that I'm a person who's very expressive. I'm a person who likes to talk about stuff. I'm a person who likes to talk about about life and talk to people and like know them like in detail, very deep. So I realized that very late in my life in my previous like earlier life my parents they always pressurized me into always presenting results so I did not really care about like connecting with people making friend circles all I cared about was that this person he's my competition this person he's my competition I need to be better than this person I need to be better than that person that was something that naturally wasn't inside me it was something that my parents invoked into me.
No, if we say about personality, I think there's no personality that you can build yourself because of the people around you. You see stuff. I think it's the human nature to adapt stuff from other people.
Yeah.
Like, let's suppose you are like in fifth grade or sixth grade, you watched a movie. Oh my god, the gosh, there what a body he has, bro. Meko bhi aise body karni hai.
Hmm.
I won't say it's peer pressure, but that's building a personality, and that too you have chosen that yourself. But it's somebody else that you have seen. So I don't think you can build your own personality. There's obviously elements that can be added, like in your surroundings.
Hmm.
But peer pressure has also like a lot of part. I think that plays in changing your personality. Maybe even if it's good, it's bad.
Yeah, I think mostly all of us we are coming to this conclusion that you are you saying that peer pressure is a good peer pressure? Is it bad? Or are you in the gray area?
I would say it's both. It also
So you're
depends on the
basically in the
person.
gray area.
I would say I'm like,
Yeah, even I would personally say that it's to some degrees more towards the bad side than the good. What do you think, Sumar?
I mean, it's more toward the bad side.
And what do
okay.
you think, Sar?
Like I don't think like it's bad or
So you're so in the gray area, right?
Yeah. So you both
Extreme
are
peer pressure is bad.
yes.
yeah. So you both are in the gray area, and you and me are in the towards the bad side of the
Because extreme peer pressure is bad, and our society has everything on the extreme level.
yeah, I mean, extreme peer pressure. I have faced extreme peer pressure to some degrees. A lot of us might not have, so it depends on person to person. So, to talk more on that, I have actually two more guests.
And that's why I was wondering there were more chairs. And
Yeah, two more chairs. You notice.
I did.
So, I will be inviting two more guests to talk more about peer pressure and to add to more opinions. And we come to the conclusion that if it is good or not, and how does it really affect us in our school life and how will it shape us into the future. So now I would like to introduce two of my other friends and classmates again, Anthony Ben and Appam Bhavani Shankar. Please come to these two. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. It's nice to have you guys. So first off, how was your day?
Well, the day started off again without a breakfast, and today's class was quite nice, actually, to be honest.
So the day was so pretty well, and having the perfect meals every day.
You know, Norman and I think we should have a whole podcast of how we have skipped every single breakfast
Yeah.
because we are late to class every single morning. Should be a new podcast, right?
I mean, yeah, that's another thing for another topic about healthy life and breakfast, which college students generally don't seem to have. But yeah, that's a discussion for the next episode of Conversations Unbound. But yeah, right now, back to our topic. We were discussing peer pressure, if you guys didn't know. So I would like to ask you the question, what do you think about peer pressure?
About peer pressure, peer pressure is probably the human urge to follow the crowd, or how other people influence us by how they're doing, with their doings, that we should improve or we should be on their level or
So
in.
technically saying it's the influence of people.
Yeah.
By you. What do you think about it?
In my perspective, peer pressure is like depends on the person.
Hmm.
Because in the ninth and tenth standard in the school life, we used to the sirs and the teachers are used to teach us like in the pressure. We used to give a more work because of it we are getting more knowledge. If you are interested or not, you are getting more knowledge. And in this time, what's once the knowledge was useful in the further generation also. Yeah, that's what my opinion.
So I would like to ask you another question as we talk about peer pressure. Uh, do you really think that peer pressure is a bad thing or a good thing? And did you have any bad experiences with peer pressure or any good experience with peer pressure? Like, share us your views and your experience in your personal life regarding peer pressure.
Okay, I already said that teachers used to make us in the peer pressure, and that's why we have the more knowledge. In that way, it's a peer pressure is a good thing, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Let's ask
It
Ben.
is. It could be also a bad thing, as in like parents and family members forcing us to while choosing a career, in a sense.
Were you peer pressured for choosing of your career? Are you UPS because of your parents?
No, studying design, I'm not because of my parents. Although my father does graphic design.
So it was a good peer pressure.
It, in a sense, it was a good peer pressure.
Good.
But yeah, in a normal Indian household, there would be some cases of bad peer pressure where like parents force their children to take let's say common examples of engineering, medical sciences.
Leave all this. Let's talk about me. Your experience. Were you faced peer pressure, so called peer pressure in school? Or have you faced peer pressure in college yet? Can be anything, even can be the assignments that we have on ourselves. Anything.
Um, Little things like uh, while going outside, getting a drink. What if I don't get that? Like if I go out in a crowd and let's say almost everyone goes to a place and gets a drink. I would think what if I don't get that drink? Like what will they think about me? Stuff like that.
Basically, like competing in the crowd.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Your choice from the others are quite different.
Hmm.
So, coming on to that, we are also going to talk about one major topic that I didn't uh, put in light, bullying. Do you really think that peer pressure leads to bullying, or is it just the natural tendency of every human to do bullying? Like, we are talking about peer pressure here, and does it really lead to bullying? Like, have any of you ever experienced bullying because of peer pressure? So, I would like to ask all of you guys. Anyone is free to talk.
At this point, I would like to ask you first. So, have you faced bullying?
Okay, so if you talk about bullying because of peer pressure, Yeah, I have been bullied because of peer pressure because I did not live up to the pressure that was applied by my peers, if we talk about definitions. So, my personal story about it was that I was only bullied once in my life, and that taught me enough about peer pressure and how I need to handle bullies and peer pressure in general. So, yeah, I was about like in 12 years old. I was in sixth, and this bullying happened in my bus that I used to travel to school from. So basically, the place that I was in, those people were not of my culture. They were not of my taste, of my, like thinking ideology processes. So they were, very laid back. They were, chill kind of people. They were not, like studious kind of, which was how I was raised, like I previously talked about it. I was raised in a very, like performance centric household who want like, results from me. So, coming from a household like that, I was a kind of a nerdy, like you term nerdy people. So I was kind of a nerd in the group that I was in later on. So that those bus people, they were very different from me, mostly seniors, and even juniors actually bullied me with them. So you can just see, how peer pressure actually works. Those juniors, they used to be part of the group of those seniors. So even the people who are smaller than me, younger than me, they used to bully me. Just imagine that. So basically, I did not, like listen to those people, share the same views as them, or you can say like, have the same vibe of, joking around. I was kind of serious. I was, like more towards the, a caring, childish kind of personality. So they used to bully me because of that, and because I was a person who like, did not like bullying or did not uh, take any kind of fun or excitement in such activities. So I used to react to that really badly. I used to cry. I used to ask them to stop, which even gave them more incentive to do it even more, which is what basically bullies do. When you react to them in such a way that you don't want them to do this, they do it even more. So they used to do this, and because of that, it got pretty severe. They used to bully me every day, and it got to a point where I, like I went home, and one day I just held a knife in my hand, and I'm like, I'm gonna take this knife the next day, and if they do something to me or like bully me, I'm gonna do something with this knife to them. It went to that point. So yeah, bullying was really bad for me. And after that, didn't really have any bullying in my life because I knew how to handle them at this point of my life. But yeah, that's it. I would like to ask you guys about your life now.
I would like to say ki, like I also face similar I also face like a similar situation like you faced. So like I would not say bullying, but they were friends of mine only, but like irritating. But what do you all think? If you have a group like if you have a circle of friends, what do you all think? Is it okay to target any one guy from the group and like always talk about him, like always irritate him, always irritate him?
Depends if it's in a fun way and the guy who actually done it
Hmm.
is taking it as a fun way. If not, I don't think it's right.
So,
Is
so
actually
in my situation, like no, on the normal basis, we used to meet and like with my friends, I used to talk and all. But like as Uday said, normally they might be saying like just like a joke, just like they must be just kidding. But I don't think so. It is like normal for on everyday basis. Like what do you all think? On everyday basis, like targeting only one guy and just irritating him.
It's not normal, but it was your choice.
Yes. So
People,
that was the problem I faced, and like
people who keep bullying you are not your friends.
yes,
If they do know that you're not okay with it, you're not comfortable with it, they're not your friends.
yes.
And you
So
choosing to stay is your.
Bhavani, have you faced bullying in school?
A face, but not in the peer pressure. In the kind
It's
of,
alright if you want to stop or if you're okay to talk about bullying, it happened in school.
yeah, it's happened because of my height. Because I'm too short in my class.
Hmm.
They used to, my classmates are usually so tall.
Hmm.
I'm so short. They used to get near to me and would do the fighting. This kind of thing. They used to talk nonsense with me. This is my experience.
Okay. Ben, you have you ever faced any type of bullying in your life?
Not really, not because of any.
Peer pressure.
I have faced bullying because of peer pressure. I mean, I used to study a lot because of peer pressure, and students of my class stopped talking with me because of that. They were like, दिन भर पढ़ती रहती है, हटा दो इसको, साइड में रखेंगे, पीछे बैठाएंगे.
So yeah, like you, Appam and Ben. So you guys didn't face bullying because of peer pressure. You guys faced bullying like separately. It was just bullying in general. And you guys, did you guys face bullying because of peer pressure?
I would say I haven't faced bullying as such. Yes, thoughts or things that were diverted by people to me happen. I won't categorize that as bullying, but I guess if you're not in a group when you're a kid, in eighth, even in eighth, ninth, and I categorize that also as a kid. But I think everyone faces a bit so-called this now categorized bullying or even irritation by seniors or your batchmates. I think in every person's life at some point कभी ना कभी होता है. It's just if the person acknowledges it and is like shit ठीक है, it's not much, I can deal with it, it's normal, I think ऐसे ही होता है स्कूल में. Or if it gets too much, then people are like, oh no, I get. So I get every single one, even here, when you has faced even the slightest bit of bullying or force, if you might or not call it bullying, but and I have also faced, but I won't categorize it as bullying, like as a wide spectrum. But yes, bit force, bit making jokes. It hurts you, but you don't like to say because Noel is making fun, so you have to like take it fun way. But you never know what the other person's meaning is.
Like as you said, uh, even like growing up, especially because of my dad is in army, by the way. So my dad used to say that when he was training and all, bullying is just a small thing in school. Actually, bullying in workplace, it's basically abusing, it's not bullying. So bullying in workplace, bullying in his training, bullying in his work life, seniors and all of those, like who actually have the power and money to back it off. So those bullying, what he said to me, like he used to tell me that healthy bullying is something that everyone should face. It brings them out of their nest. It's like if you are a crybaby, if you are someone who's very like weak minded, it's okay to be weak minded, but at some point of life everyone has to come out of that comfort zone of theirs. They have to depend on themselves, they need to learn how to handle people. So I would say that yeah, it's true that to some extent bullying is healthy, but like severe bullying, like the bullying that I faced, uh, that was too much. Because even before that I faced some amounts of bullying, but that really helped me to stand up for myself and start speaking for myself, and to know that yeah, I have things that I can talk about. I have like priorities, I have my own life. I don't need to just fit in with people, I don't need to do what they are telling me to do. I have my own thing. But yeah, to some extent, for having fun, like I was really close minded, I was never making friends with a lot of people. That really helped me to push myself to interact with people so that they don't bully me in the first place. So that is a positive point, but yeah, also there are a lot of negative points also.
I guess bullying, as you said, can be good also. I think every person should be bullied. Now, don't take it in a wrong way. But, let's suppose school bullying. So a guy pushed me or weirdly jokes that I find, slightly insulting to myself or any other individual. आगे जाके, let's suppose we face the same thing. We know that we have faced this and maybe it's this. So we are able to cope up with it or try to make things in our head more sorted because of the past experience that we have had. So it can be also good, but yes, it has excessive bullying. It's like a total no, because it also affects a lot.
I think you invite excessive bullying. अगर तुम एक बार हो रहे हो, दो बार हो रहे हो, and you're not standing up for yourself,
Yes, yes.
so that person will keep doing
Yeah.
whatever you
Okay, so Sarthak, have you ever faced like, or do you have any opinion on this?
So like I would say ki we should stand up against bullying,
Hmm.
and like mostly like 90% of people don't stand
you?
up. Like no.
Okay, so could you share that experience? Why have you not done? What made you not to start?
So like in my situation, the thing was like I used to just walk away. if someone is troubling me, or if I have some problem with someone, like my friends, for example. So I just used to walk away. I just used to like break the connection. Like
So you
I,
think 90% of people just walk away? Like,
like I would say, but like depends on.
That way, you're not standing against someone, you're just avoiding the problem, and that's completely your problem.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Ben or Bhavani, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, also bullied because of the earrings. It's when I was born, it's been what do you say? It's like a
Religion?
tradition.
Okay,
Yeah,
tradition.
tradition.
Mm.
That's why my father used to uh, say,
It's a culture there.
yeah, it's a culture. Not a culture. It's like my father and the grandfather used to have.
Family tradition.
Yeah, family tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
because of this, my friends used to bully me like a girl, girl, girl.
Ah,
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
In this year, I've started to maintain my body and get some respect because of body. Yeah.
Oh.
so technically, you're saying how the peer pressure
See,
made you face physical change also.
Yeah.
he
Mm.
countered it, but he avoided.
Hmm. Some different opinions, I think. How different people cope.
So yeah, the conclusion comes to this, that we should stand up to bullying when it's needed. When it's severe, we need to stand up to bullying, and when it's for fun, we should know how to handle it. We should, like, learn from it. We should take it as an experience to shape ourselves, to make us come out of our comfort zone. But when it's severe, we need to stand up for it. So, and also, like, peer pressure, when there's peer pressure that leads up to bullying, we need to avoid that peer pressure. But as he said that he avoids it completely, that's something that we need to avoid. We need to avoid the avoiding. We need to embrace it, and we need to learn from it, is what we are coming up to here. So in the end, I would like to ask you one last question. It's an open question for all of you guys. How did you guys cope up with your bullying or peer pressure? Like, what did you do? Like, some drastic change that you came up with to help you avoid that, and like, come in terms with yourself.
You know, I think first of all, in your mind, everything plays here. So if you think of it as like good, you think of it as a positive thing, you will obviously face like good things or will be able to cope up with it better. So in my mind, what I did was to make everything with peer pressure or if it's like bullying as like a positive thing. So I could actually progress in life rather than going backward. That's what I did. What did you guys do?
Well, in my personal opinion, I'm a person who can adapt a lot. So, as everyone changes, I also change to them. So, in that
That's not peer pressure, that's just
yeah, that's just me. So, in that sense, I've not been bullied in a way. So, like, I've been in the good sides of most people because I do things that they like.
so people pleaser.
Kind of, in a way, yeah.
You like to hear people.
It's nice. As yeah,
Bhavani, you
Like doing the prayer.
changed you. Like, what do you think to cope up with this peer pressure? Like physically or mentally, anything you want to add?
Mentally, since when I was like in the school, I used to take the any pressure as like if I don't study well,
Hmm.
I have pressure peer pressure from the parents, but still I have the skills. Like I'm making my future to be like good, like making good skill like skating and adding some of more skills. It will make us think, yeah, I'm not into the more pressure. I have skills. I can make further things. Yeah, it's like.
Sarthak, you want
So like I just thought of ki, like we should like in my situation I just started to ignore.
to.
Like as Shamantak said at the starting ki, like if you give chance to them,
Hmm.
if you react to them, they will do more.
Hmm.
So I just think ki, like for stopping that thing, so just ignore and just walk away. Or else like if you are able
That
to
has helped you just
yes,
walking away.
huh. Or else like depends on the situation, like what situation you are in. So
Hmm.
like depends on the situation, how you should react, or like you should just ignore or walk up. So in the both ways.
So
I
then,
think I've changed a lot, but it is not really because of bullying or peer pressure. Certain things have changed me, but not this.
Bullying and peer pressure is not one things.
So we all come to the conclusion that it's still in a grayscale, and I think it's gonna be in the grayscale for quite a long time. But the points that we concluded here are that peer pressure and bullying, peer pressure can lead to bullying, but bullying is not necessarily part of peer pressure. But when we are speaking specifically about bullying that is caused by peer pressure, we need to stand up for it when needed, and we need to embrace it when needed. So it's basically a two-way thing. It's a thing, it's like a problem. It's like that one thought, I don't know who said it, I just have it in my mind. So it's like when problem comes to you, you learn from it. Yeah, you face the problem, but you learn from it. So it's basically same as that. Yeah, even severe bullying can be a problem, but it can also severely change you. It can severely give you some, like give you some real life explanation to some problem. It will teach you early hand on how to handle things that are severe, that you might face later on. Yeah, like, like people who haven't faced any severe bullying, or like still, like in a comfortable zone, haven't faced that much, it will be harder for them to handle later on. But if you faced it earlier, you might be a better person later on. So yeah, in the end, the conclusion here is that it's all just depends on person to person, what they experienced in their life. And we all are unique, and that's how it will be shaping us into the next future. And in our college life, I personally believe that in college life we are quite mature and understandable about what has happened in our school life, and we can comparatively handle it better from what happened in our school life. It's like when we was in school life, whatever happened in our school life is. Sorry, guys, we had a technical issue here. The lights don't always give us their luminescence. But yeah, so I was saying, we can say that school life is basically past life of ours. It's not the current life that we are in, because whatever happened in school life, it doesn't come along with us when we come to college. It's a completely new chapter. It's a completely new life when we come to college. We have all that knowledge, all the learnings that we experienced and faced during our school life, and now we will do whatever we can in our power to avoid the problems and bring the best of our knowledge and skills to college, which is why I think college is like the gateway between adulthood and childhood. It's like that one transition between two different set of lifestyles. This is where you shape yourself, completely like refine yourself. So this is what my point of view about bullying and peer pressure in general is. Let me know what your thoughts are on peer pressure and bullying. So we'll be signing off now. We would thank you for watching our show, our podcast, Conversations Unbound, and we'll be seeing you hopefully in our next episode.
If we shoot more, which is not, but we all are, so we are going. You also have, or probably had when you were talking, or it was so boring that we should not. But go and have food. We'll all see you. If we will be back later.
So that's great.
हो गया भाई, खाना खाने चलो.